all the things with me. I am Shauna from Frapps and Scraps. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're not new here, welcome back. If you're seeing the red live button at the top, we are live. If not, you're on the replay. That's great too. Just type in hashtag replay. Let me know that you stopped by. And I get a half an hour to spend with you today. So I just wanted to show you some of the fun projects I have been working on. I am part of another collab that is called the Crafty Christmas in July 2025. And the hashtag is Crafty Christmas in July 25 for that one. And it includes these fun digitals. Hello, Karen. And I have been working on these in stages off and on some Facebook Lives on Thursdays. Pouring the coffee. Thank you so much. And I have been working on them in stages, like I said. So today we are going to continue working on them. I love that with paper crafts, it's something you can put down and come back to when you have a few minutes here and there and everywhere. So I've got a few of these back pieces to glue on yet. And then we're going to work on some fun paper clips that I am putting together. And I'll show you my little tip for using the paper the way that they are designed. And directionality is a key thing. That one almost went on upside down. There we go. So I printed these. This is just the back. These were some envelopes that I glued together to make a cute little happy mail. And my glue struggles are still continuing. I just realized these little containers are fabulous. I love that I don't have to lose the lid, but they also run out really quickly. So when I'm doing a lot of gluing, like gluing all of these paper to paper on here, I really should use a bigger container of the glue. But this is Stamperia glue, and it is actually very, very sticky, which is nice and not nice all at the same time. My hands are very sticky. But my project is sticking together, so, you know, I guess that is what matters at the end of the day. So, okay, so we are, I am making these little, this is the front, and it has this fun little embossed greenery here, and it's going to have a cute little mouse on here. And then it opens up, and this is going to hold a little note card and some to from tags. These are some fun little happy mails that I am making for some friends. And this is a cute little paper clip that comes with the collection, and I am going to show you how I put them together. Not necessarily the only way to put them together, but the way that's working for me, nevertheless. Okay, and like I said, I'm working on these in stages, so it's really great to just be able to do certain pieces and come back to it as I have time. Okay, I think just a couple more to glue those on. Where did they go? Here's 1, 2. Okay, what do I have? I have 4 left to glue. Okay, we'll move these ones out of the way. I'm making a total of 12, so it's really nice to be able to just work on one piece at a time. Like the first day I was just kind of gathering supplies, and the next day I was just printing supplies, and then the next day I did all my cutting, and then the next day I did all of the gluing the envelopes together, so that was very helpful. And it can definitely make a larger task like making 12 of something not so intimidating when you work on it that way, just when you have time. And I know a lot of us are pressed for time during the summer months because there's just so many different things calling your attention, holidays and family and no school and school holidays and gardening and, you know, just so many things that need done. So it's nice to just be able to have a little go at a craft for a few minutes. Hello, Leah. There she is. There's our hostess with the mostest, Leah from Make All the Things With Me. She will be up after me to, I think, end our playlist. So if you haven't been following along all day, I have in the description box below where you can find the playlist. You can find all of the crafters. I was absolutely delighted to see some more paper crafters today. Makes my heart happy when I just see more people paper crafting. Hey, there's my tomorrow friend. Hello. Don't get me wrong, there's been some beautiful other crafts too. So many fun stencil projects. Absolutely love seeing those. I'm not very good at stenciling with paint. I know, I guess like anything, after you do lots of it, it just becomes easier after a while, but it's always mesmerizing to watch all of these ladies either paint or do some beautiful stencil work. And they always say, oh, it's so easy, it's so great. And I guess I say the same thing about journaling, but I've been journaling for well over 25 years now. It really does just, I could probably do in my sleep. Well, that one's not going to show much of my stenciling. I did put some stenciling at the bottom just to save some paper room, but these a couple of these envelopes are a little bit smaller, and that's okay. So I stenciled on the tops and bottoms in case if it wasn't the full length like this, so then I can just have a little bit of some cute stenciling showing at the top. Now, my kind of stenciling is just stenciling with ink, and I love that. It's nearly midday, and you've just gotten out of bed. Oh, boy. That's okay. Sometimes we are all owed a lazy day. That is okay. And if you've been here watching all of us crafters, the day just seems to fly by, I think. So I know how that can happen. I used to tell my kids, they would say, I would say, hey, you need to go do this. Okay, just a minute. I need to finish watching this. And then they're watching TikToks or Reels or something. And I'll come back in an hour. Hey, did you do this? Oh, no, I forgot, whatever, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, please go do it. And then I'd come back in another hour and they're still there. And I'm like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, I don't know where the time went. You know, it's some weird thing that happens when you're watching Reels and TikToks. And now I can totally understand because it happens to me. Okay, I think I got that part all done. I have to go, I think I'm missing one. I have to go back through and double check. Okay, so when you print these out, these are in part of the Crafty Christmas in July collaboration and in part of Sweet Pea Papers. So if you want to get your copies of these digitals, you definitely can from Sweet Pea Papers. And when you print this out, it gives you the directions how to do this on your paper clips. And while having the directions on there is absolutely fantastic, I found that I was not really wanting to waste all of this extra paper. And being a junk journaler, I try really hard not to waste paper and to use every little scrap for every little thing, right? So we're going to use some regular paper clips today. And there is 2 different sizes of these little hidden paper clips is what they're called. But it comes like this. And so you can see this whole side is just instructions, and it kind of tells you what you're supposed to do. You fold it here, you put your paper clip there, and that's all fine and great. But I want to be able to really use all of my paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. We're going to trim off this little excess at the top. Okay. And then we're going to trim it again at the bottom. And we're going to do this one too while we're trimming. We might as well do the rest of the trimming. Just get it all done. Hey there, who just popped in? Safe travels. Hello, Kelly. It's Sunday for you. Yes, you can listen to the playlist when you go home tonight. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, lots of fun crafters, and it sounds like we're kind of all over the states. I know that somebody said Wisconsin and Texas, and Liz, I know, is in New York, and I am on the West Coast in Washington State. Okay, so I trim it all like this. And I mean, of course, if you're happy with your paper, mine is about a 45-pound weight, so it's a little heavier than copy paper. You could just cut these out and be happy with it. But since this paper is already printed on, I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half so that I get double the thickness. So we're gonna fold it just like so. I am having not the best eye day the last couple of days. It's been pretty terrible. If you're new here, I'm actually legally blind, but I do still craft. I've been paper crafting for so long. You know, when they tell you, when people say, you know, I could probably do that in my sleep. Well, I could probably do it with little to no vision. So, and I don't know what happens. Something magical happens when I sit in my craft chair. It just, I can still just make things work. So that's what I do. All right, so we're gonna glue this. And depending on what kind of glue that you have, you might need to let this dry before you start cutting. So this one is really fast drying glue. It's not my favorite kind of glue. I normally like a little bit of a minute before I start getting things stuck down, just so I can reposition things and try to line things up a little better to make up for the fact that whatever I lack in vision to get things kind of straight. And this glue really does not give you that. And it really leaves your hands very, very sticky, at least the way that I have experienced it. But glue is one of those things about crafters. We all have our favorite. We all do better with one type or another. And sometimes there is just no changing anyone's mind. I still try to keep an open mind when it comes to glues and give it a try. And this one I did move into a different bottle just for my own use so I can find the lid. But like I said, it leaves my hands so sticky. That's what I don't like about it. Leah, I bet you are tired. You have been doing such a fun job, such a wonderful job keeping track of everyone in the collab today. So, and really guiding us along. Greatly appreciate that. Hello, is it Chardon Sign Shack? Hello there. So many cool crafts today. A really wide variety of crafts too. I like that. Okay, so let's grab some scissors. Now we're gonna do some cutting, maybe. Yes we are. All right, here we go. So these are super easy to put together, especially when they're designed like this. And I figured with a half an hour, I should be able to get them all done. And we're just gonna make 4 of them. That is what prints out on one piece of paper. And then I'll show you how I'm using them. Okay. So this is our glued together piece here. You should be in your PJs, yes. Hello, Wild Child Mercantile. I love that name, that's fun. Lots of fun new friends today. I really am liking seeing all the fun crafts and fun different channels that I hadn't heard of before, so welcome. Okay, and then when you have these ones with stripes, you can kind of decide. I always just cut on the outside of the last dark line. If you need it wider or whatever, you can measure and then cut what would be an extra white line on the side. And these are the little mice for Christmas, and they're just so cute. Hello, what challenges tonight with YouTube for you? Oh, that's okay. You know, it happens. The biggest part is that you just keep trying. Sometimes it'll be your day and sometimes it won't. Now, I've been doing YouTube lives for so long now that I just kind of do them like Facebook lives. Facebook is a little bit easier because you just hit live and you go. Like you can copy in your description, but then you just hit live and you go. YouTube has a few more settings that you have to set before you get there. But I find, even though I do have several people that follow me here on YouTube that don't follow me on Facebook and vice versa, I still get about the same amount of people, and fortunately I don't get many trolls here. I don't know how Leah gets her page shared into like where the gamers are, but she sometimes gets some gamer friends, and some of them are nice and some of them are trying to get her to say weird things and whatever, but I haven't experienced that. I have experienced some not so nice comments here before, but I think it's because I have over 400 and something videos here over the years on YouTube, so that's just bound to happen, I think. It's you. Something wrong with your Wi-Fi. Yes, yes. And that happens too. And sometimes that's just totally out of your control. So you just do the best you can, and you know, next time is the next try. Okay. So then the way I like to do these, we need to have a piece of paper to fold over. And since I don't have a little scrap here, it's so weird in a whole room full of paper to say that I don't have a little scrap here. Okay, let's find my paper clips again. They've all just kind of scattered away. There we go. Here's one. So we want to have a folded piece of a paper that is the length of our paper clip when it is put here. So and this is just loosely, like it's not going to hurt anything if it's a little bit shorter, if it's a little bit bigger. So I try to just kind of put this where it's going to be and then just fold. We want to have a folded edge. You like the mouse. Yes, they are so cute. I've had so much fun crafting with them. Okay, and then usually what I do is I take my paper clip and I put them on here, but let's cut this first. So again, I'm just using the scrap of this other piece here. And I'll set those ones aside in case if we have time we can come and do them. Okay, so now we've got this piece here and we want the folded edge to be the edge that we're putting our paper clips on. Where did the rest of them go? There's one. I pushed them away and they just kind of scattered across my desk. Okay. Ugh. Well, I've got two of them. Where'd the rest of them go? Oh my goodness. All right, well, let me reach out into the container and find the other ones. And sometimes that's just the way it works. I can find them and other times I cannot. So, okay, so here we go. Here's two more. Kind of scary where I keep those, considering they could tip over so easily and then I would have paper clips everywhere. Okay, so here we go, our folds at the top, and then we've got our opening at the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and fold these. They do have a little dashed line, but typically it is just fold in half. And these ones have little mushrooms, and some of them have cute little Christmas trees, like this one. And if you're liking these little mice, there is a whole collaboration going on all month of July. It's the Crafty Christmas in July. There is a Facebook group for that as well. It is Sweet Pea Papers. There's some other Facebook groups as well, but Sweet Pea Papers is the one that will get you all the info that you need. And the digital, if you're into digitals. You can also do this with other beautiful paper. You would just need a strip of paper like so. Let's just measure it. So in case if you really want the measurements, 4 inches by about 1.5 on this one. And these little guys are probably about half of that. 2.5 by, what are we? 1. So you can really do it with any size of paper scrap that you have. Those are the measurements that I am working with in this digital. And this is a great way to use scraps and a really fun thing to add to your journals if you want like a little extra bookmark or just a little extra decoration on the pages. I'm using lumberjack plaid, but my friend and I have found that it really depends on what you print on, what red will go with your little mice. And when I'm making these, I like to not only ink the edges around the edges here, but I also like to open it up and just ink around the edges along the inside too, just in case any of these edges just decide to show. Or if you didn't quite get them lined up or whatever the case may be, it's not going to matter so much. How are we doing in the comments? The papers are so cute. They are really cute. I love them. Hey, Tamara's Designs is in the house. The struggle stories. Yeah, we've definitely had our days with tech trouble, and it didn't matter how much we tried to go live together. Boy, sometimes it just, the internet has its own mind, and you just are along for the ride. Okay, so these little ones are really easy and fast to ink. And I have been turning red behind the scenes. My fingers are all red, but that's okay because Distress Oxide and Distress Inks are water-based, so they do just wash off with water. And it might take a couple of washes to get them completely gone, but nevertheless, they will come off. I didn't do that one on the fold. Now you'll notice if you look really, really close, and if it will zoom in, there is a dashed line here. I did get some Tim Holtz items from Joann's before they closed. Not as many as I would have liked, but that was okay. I do have a very vast collection. I've been collecting Tim Holtz goodies for at least 20 years now. I actually have taken in-person Tim Holtz classes. In one class, I actually got to sit next to Tim Holtz. He wouldn't know my name from anybody, but just a very long time groupie. I actually made a song about being a Tim Holtz fangirl, and it's here on my channel if you guys are interested. We just kind of have fun with it in my subscription group. I have one friend, Sharon, if she's here, she will use her Tim Holtz clicker for how many times I say Tim Holtz in a live. How cool is that, right? Yeah. Super fun. He doesn't really do in-person classes anymore because he doesn't need to. He can just stay in the comfort of his own studio and go live, and we can all see him. But you know how awesome it would have been when I was first starting to craft if I would have been able to have everybody just right at my fingertips, because there was several different designers that I followed when I first started paper crafting. And the only way really to get any information from them or learn from them was, in my day, was via magazines, or if they made an appearance at, some venue or like convention or some crafty store. And that was it. That was the only way to learn from them. Unless if they did like some QVC or something online, you really didn't, like on video, that would go on TV, you really didn't get the opportunities that we have these days. So I have been paper crafting for at least 25 years, at least. I think longer than that. Yeah, it's been a really long time. Let's see. Okay, My mom was selling stamps before there was a place called Stampin' Up. So she would just order stamps from several of the companies, and she would go to people's houses and have stamp parties before Stampin' Up was a thing. So yeah, I'm older than Stampin' Up. Why didn't I ink this one? There we go. And yeah, we used to, the cool thing when I was younger was having pen pals, and we loved to decorate our envelopes with fancy stamps and packaging. Okay, so the easier ones, in my opinion, are the little ones. And so let's start out with one of those. What I like to do here is put some glue. Just on one side. And you can kind of see, if you use this piece as the inside guide, it kind of shows you where your paper clip can go. That's why when I tell you I could probably craft in my sleep, I can definitely craft blind. I can do a lot of it by feel. I know what my products feel like. Yeah. Okay, so the thing you want to do is you want to put this piece of paper on the inside. And so I try to line it up here like this, and then I trim off. So you can see I've lifted up this piece that it's on, and I've lifted it up so that I can trim it a little bit smaller. And don't worry that this paper clip is going to be on the inside of the paper. We want it that way. So just try to make it look even. Okay, and then we're going to glue this side too. And this took me a long time to wrap my mind around, like, how does it actually work? Because we're gluing, but your paper that you're putting it on, it is going to slip right in between here, and it will still work just great. Okay, and then if you have glue that dries super fast, make sure you didn't glue your edges all the way together, because you still want it to be able to open at the bottom. But give it a second. Get some good glue in there. Okay, and then we'll do the other one. And if you have a bunch of paper clips, you can just really use this whole thing and just make a whole bunch. And if you don't want to put paper clips in the center, you can always do magnets. Those are fun too. And if you want to cut these before you put glue there, maybe you don't want to get glue on your scissors, or maybe you're just trying to measure them all out or whatever, you can definitely do that too. You can add lace, you can add eyelets, you can do all of the things. Add buttons. I usually add my glue first, but we can trim it first too. There we go, just like that. And I don't really bother to measure, but you can. Ugh. If you've done it this way, then you can take your glue and just put it on here, and you'll know you didn't put any glue at the bottom of this outer piece. And if you don't cut this inside piece just a little bit smaller than the edge, just add some ink and you'll never know the difference. It'll be okay. Ink saves the day for a lot of things. Oh, thank you, Tam. Yeah, paper clips you can find in a lot of places. Dig to the depths of the drawers of your desk and you can find them there. If they're not there, I sometimes find containers and bags of them at the thrift stores or at garage sales, or heck, these days, so many businesses are closing. They will auction off office supplies even. So my husband sometimes goes to auctions, and if I'm with him, I will find paper clips. That way, I don't think I've actually bought paper clips at a store in a very long time. Yeah, paper clips are so fun. They're just something that is really easy. Even if you're not a paper crafter, these are fun to use. You can make them for your kids or your grandkids to put on their, back to school stuff, or just a fun little decoration to have on their, maybe, for their work stuff, whatever. Super fun. Okay, now using these bigger ones, you can use bigger paper clips here, but since I've already got this paper for these smaller ones, this smaller one will work as well. Okay, perfect. And even if you don't have this little guide, your paper clip just kind of goes about in the middle. And I make these several different ways. Sometimes I wrap the paper clip in book paper. Sorry guys, that is my little sprouts calling. Hey, that's about my time anyways. That is a half an hour. So yeah, we did it. We made several of these, and this will just clip on to the paper just like so. So huge thank you to Leah for having me be in this wonderful collaboration. Check out that playlist and check out everybody else and the things that they are making. And make yourself some paper clips if you haven't done it already. Thanks everyone.